Hello, welcome to Best Movies channel. Guy Ritchie's new action-packed film, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, is inspired by Winston Churchill's classified files and the book Churchill's Secret Warriors. Set during the darkest days of World War II, the film follows a top-secret unit tasked with taking down the Nazi war machine. With Nazi Germany sweeping across Europe and U-boats threatening Allied shipping, Churchill assembles a rogue team to turn the tide of the war. Stick around, because next, I'm going to give you the full scoop on this movie. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is a 2024 spy action comedy film directed, co-written and co-produced by Guy Ritchie, and starring Henry Cavill, Eiza González, Alan Ritchson, Henry Golding and Alex Pettyfer. Based on the 2014 book Churchill's Secret Warriors, the explosive true story of the Special Forces desperados of World War II by Damian Lewis, the film portrays a heavily fictionalized version of Operation Postmaster. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare had its premiere on April 13, 2024, in New York and was released in the United States on April 19, 2024. The film received positive reviews from critics but was a box office bomb, grossing $27.3 million on a $60 million budget. Alright, let's dive into the story. In late 1941, during World War II, the United Kingdom is struggling to halt Nazi Germany's attempts to take over Europe, with London regularly suffering bombing runs at the hands of the Luftwaffe. With their supply and aid ships constantly sunk by German submarines, Brigadier Colin Gubbins, with the indirect backing of Prime Minister Winston Churchill, prepares to initiate Operation Postmaster. An off-the-books Black Ops sabotage mission intended to disrupt the Nazi U-boat resupply operation on the Spanish-controlled island Fernando Po. While SOE agents Marjorie Stewart and Richard Herron depart by train, Gubbins enlists Gus March Phillips to assemble a ground team to destroy the Italian supply ship Duchessa d'Aosta and two tugboats attached to it. Using the neutral Swedish fishing trawler Maid of Honor, Gus and his allies, Graham Hayes, Freddie Alvarez, and Danish naval officer Anders Lassen, begin the slow sail to Fernando Po. Upon discovering that SOE saboteur Jeffrey Appleyard, whom Gubbins had sent ahead on the assumption that Gus would show interest in wanting him on the team, was captured by Gestapo agents, they divert course to a Nazi-controlled section of La Palma for a rescue mission. Meanwhile, arriving early on Fernando Po, Marjorie and Herron use the latter's illegal gambling hall to recruit backup for Gus's team while Marjorie seduces Heinrich Löhr, the SS commander in charge. Upon learning that the Duchessa intends to depart 3 days ahead of schedule, Gus has his crew sail through a British naval blockade of Nazi-occupied West Africa despite knowing they will be arrested should their unauthorized mission be discovered. On the night of the intended raid, Marjorie and Herron learn that Löhr has had Thegekes's hull reinforced despite the Italian attaché's reservations. Barely warned of this in time, Gus and Appleyard decide that their best course of action is to hijack the ships and use them as a bartering chip after a mole in Gubbins' staff reveals the mission to senior command. Although Löhr eventually catches on when Marjorie's act begins to slip, the raid is ultimately successful, and Marjorie shoots Löhr in the head. Delivering the boats to a British fleet outside Lagos, the team is nonetheless arrested. While waiting to be court-martial-led, they are saved and recruited by Churchill as part of his Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, as their actions have not only severely damaged the Nazis' naval strength, but also have allowed the United States, which recently entered the war following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, to join the European theater. A montage of details before the end credits reveal the post-operation activities of several protagonists. Gus became a war hero and would helm several similar raids during the war before marrying Marjorie at the start of her acting career. Appleyard would receive several commendations for his role in the mission. Much to the King's amusement, Hayes would go on to become a highly accomplished spy notable for surviving a year of Nazi torture without breaking. Lassen would go on to take part in raids outside the group until his death in 1945. Ian Fleming, who had been part of Gubbin's inner circle during this time, would use Operation Postmaster as the inspirational basis for his James Bond novels. And finally, I hope you will see this movie completely and enjoy watching it. I would be happy if you could comment your opinion about this movie.